Hi guys, welcome to my channel, and I hope that you are keeping safe, you are staying at home, and you're finding stuff to do. And so I just want to bring a video to you if you are enjoying my kind of content. Some of the things, as life evolve and as life changes and as we mature and as we grow. There is one thing that, and I want to speak. Okay, so my message is mainly for women, but I know that we have sisters, and when we are guys, and we know the kind of thought process that happens in a woman's head, it helps us to even have better relationship with our sisters, even have better relationship with our mothers. So I really don't mind having guys on my channel, and if you're enjoying this channel, and you're enjoying this content, you are welcome. But I was speaking to a friend of mine few weeks ago, and we were talking about being vulnerable as women, allowing ourselves to go through life, and that doesn't mean that we lie on the floor and we just allow life to just happen to us. That we know that we have a right to say what happens to our lives, and we are living a life of intention, right? But that when life knock us in any way, or we go through different challenges in life, it helps to have a community. And I think that it is one of the concepts that is used by, when they create these alcohol anonymous, where people come in and they share their experiences, because it is always good to know that you are not alone. But there's something that we do, and that happens when we want to, show an image of perfection. That it is disservice not only to ourselves, but only to also to our daughters, and also to women that are coming behind us. Because one of the things that really, when you are going through challenges in your life, I don't know why it brings such shame and embarrassment that sometimes you feel like these certain things are not supposed to be happening to you. Like maybe you did something wrong for you to be experiencing certain things. But it is because we have created somehow a society where we have to show up with our makeup, our lipstick, and even people who are living in abusive relationships, they even use their makeup to cover up scars. And not only physical scars that we cover, we also cover emotional scars. We can't share pain. We find being vulnerable such a very scary thing. It's such a scary space. So what do? We cover ourselves with makeup, we cover ourselves with titles, we cover ourselves with so many ways, and it is disservice because the same standard that we hold ourselves in, we tend to pose it to the people that are coming behind us, even to our kids. And it is not correct. It is not real. There is no way that is real. Life happens, but the power is in understanding and accepting when life has happened to you, and finding tools of how you move forward so that you can go back and teach. And so I did a speech in my Toastmasters. I was in I'm still part of Toastmasters, which is one of the tools that I used, as a leader, to be able to communicate effectively and also to have confidence in my leadership. So I did a speech in Toastmasters about self-actualization. And there is, if you Google now, on you go to YouTube and you say Maslow's hierarchy of needs, there's so many people who have done that, and what each need, each layer, the needs there, and those needs, what do they fulfill in a person's life. But there is the last level of the needs in the hierarchy, which is the need for self-actualization. So we speak about our purpose, we speak about a fulfilling destiny, we speak about living our dreams and living living a life that is worth poured out. That there is no way that we can be able to reach that level of being able to live out like that before the certain needs that are taken care of. And one of those needs is not really listed in the hierarchy, but it's a need for acceptance, a need not only accepting who you are, but accepting you yourself with everything, because we are not made of beautiful stuff only, right? We have stuff that we wouldn't tell, that there are certain people in our lives that know about those things. And it is when we accept truth about where we are, how we got there, and have courage and power to move forward. Because there's a certain level that before we self-actualize, we must come to a point of realization that whatever has happened in our lives, every person that has contributed in our life has helped us to become who we are. And it is when the need of finding someone like a mentor, finding someone like a life coach who can be able to help us with skills and tools to be able to really analyze our lives and really find issues and triggers in our life that allow us to get there. And so what am I saying? I'm saying that the ultimate level, it is not that when we as women have gone through certain things and we having a need to be authentic and real to people in our lives, our children, our friends, that we doing that to stay as victims, but we use those opportunities to elevate us, to allow us to self-actualize. And so when we have gotten into that point, that's the ultimate way. That's the ultimate point where we are not reacting from a point of being broken. We are not moving from a point of competing, but we are really living our God-given dreams. And so self-actualization is when people you are living your dream, right? And you are pursuing purpose, and you are being real. You speak your mind. Well, not really speak your mind, but you recognize your own voice, and you are not afraid, you are not ashamed to say that this is who I am, with scars and all. This is who I am, but now I have a vision for my life. I will no longer accept certain parts that to define me. What I did in my life or in any area of my life does not define who I am. That I get to define my future, and you define your own future. And you know that I'm high on women empowerment, right? And if there's one thing that I know that you can empower women is getting an education, because it's when you have an education as a woman that you have a say of who says what to you and how. But if you don't have an education, you're kind of very vulnerable in being controlled by society standards, even by people. And so there are so many ways that a woman can empower herself. There's so many characters and qualities that makes a woman be empowered, and education is one of them. And so I want to speak about that, because being indoors for the next 21 days, there's so many things that you could be consuming. There's so many maybe you could find yourself binge watching or Netflix, or even doing anything that will not move you forward to your dreams. But if we want to be women of impact, be women of intention, then in these 21 days, because in 21 days, when we come out of it, whatever it is that we have been binge watching and we have been occupying ourselves with will be the thing that we're going to be. So let's use this time as effectively as possible and use it to empower ourselves, that when 21 days has happened, it has been a blessing in our lives where we are empowered. The way that we think ourselves has changed. We have shifted our perspective about ourselves and about our goals. Our goals have become clearer. We know what we want. We know what we're working for. Our dream, when we have written our dreams down, we know how far we are with our dreams, and also we know our gifts. And so that when this 21 days is over, then we can go out there and really be whom we were truly being called to be. And so that's what I wanted to share with you, that when we do these certain things, it's one of the things that increase our our voltage. You know, when you have a globe a globe of a light, it has a different voltage. So whatever may have happened to you that has caused you maybe to be you know, decrease even in your own self-worth and own self-value, that there are certain things that you can increase your own voltage, your own worth as a woman and also as a queen. And so stay encouraged, and I wish that, you know, you're going to be empowering yourself and you're going to be taking your life in a different direction, that when all of this has been done, it will really be a blessing, because you're going to use it intentionally, and you're going to bear much fruits. And so I will see you on my next video. Take care.